I've been away for a little while because I've had another MS flare, so my health has not been too good. I've always had I've had an ongoing issue with my optical neuritis, so I can't see properly out of my right eye. And whenever I'm stressed, I can feel this pain in my eyes. So sometimes it gets worse, sometimes it gets better. I have also taken the arrogance, let's say, or sometimes I felt like I was having an MS flare, and I knew I was having it. I could tell, like, I felt different, I was confused, I was a little bit off kilter, so something was wrong, and especially with my eyes, so I'd feel this pain in my eye, which undoubtedly is an MS symptom. And sometimes I pretended like nothing was going on, because I realized that the cortisone therapy is such a stress, it has such a massive impact on my life. I'm still not completely convinced about the cortisone treatment. I'm not too sure if it's as effective as it should be, because I just feel terrible for like a month from the cortisone treatment. When I had the MS flares when my eye hurt, I'd be fine after like 4 or 5 days again. So when I was weighing up the possibilities, I was focusing on the now, so right here in the present moment, and it didn't impact my life as it was. So I could still go skateboarding, I could still go climbing. So I was like, okay, it's not impeding my life, I don't need to go to hospital. And I did this a few times, and I was actually rather pleased, because it meant I recovered within a week, so I was back to doing my normal stuff. I never get back to normal health, so ever since I've had the first flare, I've been on a downward trajectory. I'm living a completely different life now than I did a year ago. I'm not complaining. I don't mind, I don't care. I'm just trying to explain what's going on. So I did this a few times. I was noticing a little bit of stress, a little bit of pain in the eye. And then there was one point where I was noticing that I was slurring my speech. And I don't drink alcohol, obviously, but I sounded like I was drunk. So I was acting like I was drunk. I literally sounded like I was drunk, burning myself when I'm cooking, and like doing strange things, like putting the milk in the teapot. I drink a lot of English tea because so putting milk in the teapot, it was like one of the most random things I've ever done. So like it's things like that, so you have to keep close guard, or keep close watch on your own behavior. So let's say an objective way of seeing myself. So I'm quite fortunate that I'm quite happy to go like, oh, I'm slurring my speech, like I'm obviously got an MS flare. And eventually what actually broke me was, I was like, okay, I'm not feeling that good, I'm gonna go into my room, I'm going to record a video. And I went into my room, I started trying to set up, and I looked at the camera and I went, you don't sound right, you're slurring your speech, you sound drunk, you cannot make a video. And to me, not being able to make a video, that was a huge thing. So that's like not being able to brush your teeth, more or less. So it was like this really impacted my life right now. So as soon as I looked at the camera, and I was like, oh shit, I need to go to hospital. So then I went to hospital, I explained my situation. I didn't really tell them that it may have been an accumulation. So like I didn't get this MS flare checked up, and it's been the 5th time, I think, within a year. So like this is me, only the MS flares that I'm admitting. So I go to the hospital as a last resort, because the cortisone therapy really messes me up. So I'm fine now. So I've obviously I think it's been 3 or 4 weeks, I don't know, because I have no perception of time. I just go by how much I can do. And as much as I hate the cortisone therapy, and as much as I hate what it's doing to me, like not as in it makes me look fat. I don't really care that it makes me look fat, but I feel like I get a disconnection to my own body, so I get bloated and I feel weird. I've got dry skin. Like there's many things, but the disconnect with the brain and the body, where like you're trying to grab things and you knock everything over. So it's coordination. So this is the thing that really like, it freaked me out. Like it made me really like, oh my God, if I lose my coordination skills, if I lose my ability to move, this is more or less what I base my life on. I love doing sports, I love having fun outside, I love moving, I love coordination, I love anything like martial arts, anything, I'm down. So climbing, skateboarding, to me it's physical, creative meditation. Climbing maybe not so much, no it still is, but so being in the moment, physical activity and without thinking. So that's it, as simple as I can put it. So obviously there's ways of having other physical creative meditation also without the physical part, which I don't really want to talk about, like drawing, baking, cooking. I might have to add that like cooking to me is a strenuous physical activity now. So as much as I used to love doing sports and as much as I was active all day, every day, now cooking is tedious and hard. Like physically it hurts my back. So I have quite severe back pain, unfortunately. But like when I go skateboarding, when I'm outside, I'm pretty sure nobody knows. Nobody notices. Nobody knows about I don't share my illness with too many people because I don't have to. When I'm down at the skate park, I'm extremely happy that I'm down at the skate park. So nobody would be able to tell that there's something wrong. Like there'll never be a sad face and there'll never be an issue regarding that. I just needed to get a little bit of distance to try and recover and feel back to, well, I'm not normal. I'm never going back. I never go back to normal. So it's more of like settling into the new circumstances and then getting off and setting off into normal life again. Doing these videos are really important to me. Like there's always something that I feel like, oh, this hasn't been said yet, or this is something you can try. This is something that maybe will help. Or this is something that may be valuable to somebody, I don't know. I just know that before I die, I hope I am going to put everything out there before I lose my mental capacity, my coherence, my speech. I'm gonna try and get as much information as I can possibly put out there that makes me be able to smile in the face of, well, the disease that I have. And well, I don't really care. Like that's the thing. I don't actually care about the disease. I'm really happy that I'm alive. To be fair, not most of my friends, that's an exaggeration. Some very important influences in my life died at a very young age. So 26, 28, 23, 13. Like there have been young people in my life that passed away. So for some reason, there was 2 people in particular. One died at 26 and one died at 28. So that number always kept in my mind. So all I ever look at when people go like, oh, I'm sorry for the disease, I'm going, what do you mean? Like, I'm still alive. Like, my friend died 7 years earlier than me. He didn't even have time to get this disease. He was already dead and gone. So, like, I've got a free life. So I'm sick. Big deal. I'm still alive. And that's the only thing that's important. So even if I'm not skateboarding as much, I can still be a part of what's going on. I can still enjoy on the skateboarding. I can still watch. I can still be a part of the community, for instance. So like it doesn't even make any difference. Like I can still walk. I'm still physically able to skateboard. So if I were to compare myself, so if I were in my dream imagination what I would be like when I was healthy, then I would get really upset and depressed and sad, and I would probably struggle more with the physical ailments. But I don't. And there's no such thing. To me, it's either alive or dead. So I can choose to be alive with MS, with back pain, with diazepam, whatever the hell is going on, and the steroid treatments and the hospital visits, the MRIs. Like there's so many eye tests that always are negative because I know it's a neurological problem. Anyway, I've been to hospital so many times in the last few years, in the last year, and I just roll with the punches. I don't think about it. I don't think about the fact that I've got another appointment and another appointment and another appointment, and all they tell you is, oh, you've got more lesions on your brain, you're getting worse, you're gonna get more sick. So like this is the nature of my disease, so there's no way of stopping it. You can slow it down maybe in the future, hopefully, they will be stopping it, but like as far from my perspective, all I do is go there for tests, and then the doctors tell me you got worse, and I go, well, I know. I can tell, I know, like, of course I've gotten worse, of course there's more lesions of my brain. Why the hell do you keep having to look at my brain to check that I'm getting worse? Anyway, that's just a part of the thing. I'm going to try and oppose more tests, and I already do. I'm quite like I'm not very fun patient to have, I think, because I don't really want any tests. I don't really want the treatment. I don't really want the, like, whatever medical. Like if I need it, I need it. So I needed the cortisone. I couldn't speak. My speech was slurred. I was confused. I had a headache. I had this terrific pain in my neck. Like I wanted to lean forward to give someone a kiss, and I leaned forward, and I had just had this lightning pain down my back and my neck, and that was one of the key reasons why I just went like, oh my god, I need to go to hospital now. So anyway, now it's the back end, so I'm already recovering. I'm doing sports almost every day, so I'm pretty happy. I'm climbing a lot, and sometimes I'm a bit like, oh, how should I say, surprised when I tell people I got oh yeah, I've got MS, and I'm hoping that the people that I'm telling do not quite know what MS is. If they want to ask questions, I will give them the answers, but I hope that they just go like, oh yeah, autoimmune disease, whatever. The people that understand what MS is, they give me a very different reaction, because they're like, oh my god, are you okay? Or like, are you depressed? Are you sad? Are you? No, not at all. I live every single day as if it was my last day on earth, as well as my birthday. So when they look at me and go like, oh, so, but how is it for you now? And I was like, well, I'm here, so I'm happy. So that's all I need. I don't have any expectations from my life anymore. I'm surprised I'm still alive. There's so many, like, I literally am surprised I'm still alive. I'm 35 years old now, which is like mind-blowing to me. So what's the difference? As long as I'm alive, it doesn't make any difference if I'm healthy or not healthy. As long as I'm alive, I'm happy. So I'm going to just deal with whatever I have to deal with, and then move on and roll forward. And I still enjoy as much as I can. I try to enjoy the day. And I'm pretty sure most people wouldn't even know the struggles that I have with physical struggles, but that's because I don't really care. Like, I'm so used to being in pain because I've broken so many bones in my life, and I've had to do rehab for so many years of my life. Like, I destroyed my knee snowboarding, broken my arms, like both arms twice. So like I'm quite seasoned when it comes to rehab, recovery, and how to rebuild the muscles, rebuild strength, physiotherapy, trying to keep active and moving, and I'm hoping that will keep me active and moving for as long as I possibly can. I am in treatment, but I'm slightly confused at what exactly my diagnosis is because it seems I'm getting sort of conflicted messages, and I'm not quite in the best care, which is also sort of interesting thing to experience firsthand, because the truth is, so I live in Europe, so I've always worked, I've always paid the money for health insurance, so I rely on the public health insurance in Europe. And the fact of the matter is that I was never a rich person. Like in Europe, I was always a lower tier of when it comes to money. So I didn't work much, so I didn't have much money, so I relied on the public health system. I would not have been able to afford private health insurance. Now, the thing is that because of the disease that I have, I'm relying on the public health service, which is still helping me, which is still giving me treatment, which is still helping me when I have a flare up. However, they're not quite listening to me, and they're not quite understanding that this has been a gradual decline for the last 5 years maybe, and I'm not necessarily in the best hands. If I had a private doctor, I would have been in treatment 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I would be treated quite a lot different, I'm assuming. So right now I'm sort of stuck with quite a few questions regarding my MS and my lack of recovery, let's say. So as soon as I had the first MS flare, I don't feel like I ever got back to normal. So as soon as I had the first MS flare, it never felt like it stopped. And that was the reason why I thought the cortisone wasn't working. Now I'm not too sure. I'm changing hospitals soon, so I have the fortune of moving to an MS specialized clinic here in Barcelona. So I'm not quite sure how exactly that's going to work. I'm struggling with the Spanish. I've gotten a lot of help from friends as well that speak the language that can help me a little bit. And yeah, I don't know, I think it's the 4th or 5th time that I've had cortisone within a year. So I'm pretty sure this is an aggressive form of MS, and it's not the typical way that someone is diagnosed with MS. And that's why like I suddenly went like, oh my god, I cannot work anymore, I can't think straight, I can't think clearly, I can't sit in a chair for long enough without back pain. I need to keep moving so that I can handle the back pain. It's very severe, to be honest. I've had a lot of injuries, like dislocated shoulders, cruciate ligaments, like broken bones, and that pain is absolutely nothing compared to the searing pain that I feel in my back. It's like nerve pain, and it feels like, I would say, like this bright white lightning pain. So I always need to keep it on a bearable level. So I'm always in pain, which you worry wouldn't be that obvious. But there's a point where if I do too much, I'm in so much pain I cannot move. I'm like laying on the floor. Luckily and unluckily, unfortunately, I don't know how to say this, but I have medication that helps me with the pain, so I'm managing to keep the pain on this level so that I can keep moving and keep active. However, I'm sort of addicted to the pain medication now as well. So this is my primary objective right now, because to me it's a very superficial fix, like, oh, you've got back pain, here, take this medication. But I don't like that so much, because the medication is making me tired, it's making me weak, and I'm probably addicted to it by now, or I'd assume. So I'm not that's literally the reason why I stopped my chemistry studies, because I realized that the pharmaceutical industry was not out there trying to save the world and heal cancer. They were out there trying to make painkillers that make you addicted, and like oxycodone, and this is Valium, diazepam, and also antidepressants for children, and things that you can make money out of. So I was disillusioned by the state of the pharmaceutical, or the way that I thought I was fighting for good. Like, I thought I was going to cure diseases, and then I was served the stark reality of what it's like to be a chemist in, well, where I was in Austria, and well, it was pharmaceutical industry, and I had a very big issue with that, and I just stopped studying chemistry because of it. And now I'm addicted to the painkillers that were the issue for me when I was 21 or whatever. So it's sort of ironic. It's helping me manage the pain. So I always go like, well, I wouldn't be at the skate park otherwise. I would be quite handicapped, but in a way, like it really shut me down, the pain. So I'm happy that I have the painkillers, but I'm also unhappy that I'm addicted to them. But it's helping me manage the pain. Like, maybe this is what I'm gonna have to do for the rest of my life, and that's okay as well. Like, whatever. Like, as long as I'm still alive and kicking and screaming, I'm pretty happy with whatever comes. So, and if I only have a few more years left to live, well, I'm gonna do my best to try and explain to you how you can smile in the face of death. And not explain to you, that sounded very condescending. It's just, I want to show you, look, it's not that hard. Like, all I did was give up the ideas I had of myself. So I don't have the idea of myself as an MS patient. I don't have any idea of myself of what I would be like if I didn't have MS. So there's no ideas or thoughts or nothing that's there to cause me extra stress. So as much as the MS diagnosis should be a huge impact, and like, I should be more on my old life and like the way that I used to live, now I'm just thinking like, thank God I took those 3 years of my life and just been like, I'm going to Spain, I'm going to skateboard all day, every day, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. And now I can't, I can't anymore. So I'm going like, oh, thank God, these last years that I was able to have this energy, I completely milked every last second of it. So there was quite a few things where I was supposed to get this operation on my knee that I refused. And there's quite a few things where people insisted on me doing this and this. And I went like, no, I can't. I need to do this for me right now. And that's what I did. And I'm so happy that like, I'm sure if I wouldn't have understood what Krishnamurti is talking about, so if I wouldn't have understood the role of my own ego, the impact, the limitation, the restrictions it had on my own life, before I was diagnosed with MS, I would have responded completely differently. So due to me being free of the ego, I never had to say, why does this happen to me? Why me? What is going to happen to me in the future? Who's going to look after me? Who's going to love me? Like, nothing. That doesn't exist. All that exists is right now, right here. What can I do? That's the most fun. What's as if it was the last day on earth for you right now. And I've been living this for 5 years of my life. So even when I'm down on the floor, or even when I'm struggling, even when I'm in hospital, like I went down to hospital, I'm fortunate because the hospital was right next to the beach. and I went and I just saw a little bit of the sunrise at the beach before I went in for treatment. So I was extremely happy about that. To me, I just went like, wow, isn't this amazing? There's nobody at the beach. I wouldn't normally be here. Normally I'm very asleep at 8 o'clock in the morning. I sleep like 10 to 12 hours now with the MS. So like, I couldn't sleep before, and now I sleep most of the day. Anyway, I was happy with what I had, and if that treatment right there would have killed me, I still tried to give it all that I had every day. So there's just small little things that just brighten your day, and people being nice to you, kind to you, and people helping you out, giving you a blanket, etc., etc. So I sort of took a while before I I'm sorry for being away for a while, but I was so focused on recovering that every day I just woke up and went, go climbing, go climbing, go climbing. And even if I didn't feel like going climbing, because every day when I wake up completely like, I feel like it's 8 in the morning and too early to wake up, but actually it's like 12:31 in the afternoon, and I still feel like extremely exhausted. So it's rather hard to start to get moving and start to get yourself to do some physical activity. But this response, I'm sure, has helped me recover quicker. So getting it out of my system. So as much as I hate the cortisone, I'm getting better at receiving the cortisone. So I think, luckily, like, this is a little bit of, like, I am going to go back to hospital next time I have an MS flare, but I'm a little bit confused at how come I had 5 in 1 year and people have 1 every 2 years. So I'm not entirely. I was told it was an aggressive form of MS, but I haven't really gotten any real answers. I don't really care. It doesn't really make any difference either way. I'm going to deal with whatever I have and whatever comes along, and until I have those or until somebody tells me or explains it to me or whatever, it doesn't make any difference. I'm still going day by day, so it doesn't. If today I feel tired, then I'm still gonna try and get myself somewhere and do something. I always have like daily missions, and sometimes a mission is just to go to the pharmacy, or just to go to the shop, or just cooking, or I try to do sports primarily, but sometimes it's just not possible. So I just don't physically have the strength or energy to do it, unfortunately. Anyway, most days I'm doing sports, so I'm hurting myself a lot. So like I go climbing and I go skateboarding, which is not very smart of me, but it's fun. So I prefer to do something that's maybe a little bit more dangerous, but I'm having a lot of fun. So unfortunately I've like tweaked my ankles, I've tweaked my knee a little bit. My right ankle and my left knee. And anybody that shares this common, let's say, disrespect for your own body or respect for your own body's healing powers may understand how I injured my left knee. And then to protect my injured left knee, I then put more weight on my right ankle and then I twisted my right ankle. So I'm pretty sure that's not very helpful for my MS, but it was a lot of fun. So that's all I'm going by, and I don't really care. It's not that big of a deal, and like just a little injury, it'll be fine in a few weeks. And usually I'm proving something, like I fell off a wall and then I go like, well, I think I can make it, so I'm gonna try again, and then I fall off again. So I'm not completely responsible with my own body, because I like to push the limits, and that includes the limits of my physical body, and sometimes I get injured. Sorry, I had some technical issues. Apparently my camera turns itself off when I ramble about my self-inflicted injuries. All I was trying to say is like I'm pushing my body, so even though I'm not like, instead of looking at a wall, climbing a wall and saying, oh no, that's too hard, I'll try and I'll fall, and I'll try and I'll fall. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I push my body, I push everything. So it's okay to fall, it's okay to take a little bit of a tweaked ankle. Like, this back pain is so bad that I can't even feel the injuries anymore. So like, even though I had quite severe injuries, like the back pain is such an overpowering, and like it's like on another level. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Like, it's just in general, I don't feel like I want to go out, but I just push myself and go like, let's see what it's like there. Let's see if you can get yourself there. Just like testing myself and pushing myself. And I think it's quite essential for me right now. And I'm pretty sure it's the main reason why my coordination is still sort of okay. And I feel like the more I keep active, the more I will be able to keep active. And it's okay to fall, and it's okay to be dizzy, it's okay to be wobbly, it's okay to start again from the bottom, it's okay to fail, it's okay to fall. It's fine, it's just a normal part of life. If you wanted to stay in your own comfort zone, then you're not going to get injured. Yes, that's boring life. I like to push life. And I want to be in the comfort zone. I want to see what is out there. It's like a life of opportunities. I have the opportunity to challenge myself to this wall. And if I don't make it, it's fine. And if I have to walk away, it's fine. So I tried. And everything is a learning experience. Everything is growth. Everything is... everything, it makes you stronger. Even if you have to say, I can't do this, I'm failing and I need to give up. The humility to give up also means something, and humility to change course, the humility to be able to stop what you're doing, or the humility to accept you can't do this more. So it's all a part of life. I don't go out there and do everything perfectly. Like, no, I fall on my face like doing average normal things. So like, it's sort of like a part of this. But if I let that intimidate me or impede my life, then that's not going to be much fun. My life is still a life of opportunities. My opportunities are slightly limited now because of my physical condition, but it doesn't really matter because I still have a life. I still have a life of opportunities. And where one specific activity stops, something else is going to bloom. And this the whole part of this. So not to quote too many songs, but there's a song that says, without all the rain there wouldn't be any room for the stunning growth. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. I'm really bad at quoting. Anyway, it's true. Without all the rain, how do we grow? And it's the same for life. So if we go through hard experiences, if we lose a parent, if we lose a child, if we lose, when shit hits the fan, when things are really bad, when we lose everything, that is the moment that we stand up and we persevere. And we go on and we accept the things for what it is. And we have personal growth. Most people that I meet in my life, they have the most horrendous backstories, but that's why I love them, because I can tell they have strong character, they have sincerity, they have directness, honesty, they have humility, because they've seen it, they've been there, and they've had to drag themselves out of that hole. And I respect them for it. So, and this is what life is about. It's about growing, and we grow till we die. And, well, many of us also give up on growing. So they have this idea that they feel they're failing at, but no, keep growing, you keep growing. You don't notice because it's your life, so you don't see the small changes. But you're growing. Everything you do, every failed relationship, every death, every accident, every financial loss, everything helps you grow and makes you a stronger person. Doesn't matter what happens to you, because it's born alone, die alone, and you are the one that needs to live with yourself. You're the one that needs to face yourself and accept yourself for who you are. And from that point onwards, everything is easy, you're rolling with the punches. So I'm sort of laughing at my injuries, because they used to be massive deals. Like a tweaked ankle was like 6 weeks of not skateboarding or whatever, because I used to follow doctor's orders. Now I don't anymore, because now I know, well, this is just a twisted ankle. It's a little bit of pain, it's a little bit of swelling. And it's like in 6 weeks it'll be fine. I have a disease that's eating my brain. That puts everything into a very different perspective. So that's why I'm laughing about the physical injuries, and I don't really care very much anymore. I just want to get out there and live. And thank Krishnamurti that he's made it very easy for me to just forget what used to be and just look at what is. So what is a human being that's slightly limited physically in comparison to before, but like that doesn't exist. So I just do whatever I want to do anyway, and I don't have to compare to last year. The only reason I do it is to explain to other people, but to me it's just, this is my life now. I can't see properly. This is hard for me now, and this is hard for me now. I don't do this anymore. So it's just slimming things down, but it's just a different life if I compare it. Now it's just, I'm still alive, and that's the most important thing, and that's all I wanted to say, more or less. Sorry for the rambling and sorry for the interruption. Yeah, I'm just trying to say that even though I have all these limitations, I have this pain, I want to get out there and live every single day as if it was my birthday and the last day on earth, every single day. And this attitude can be, anybody can do this, anybody can have this, and you don't need MS to have this, so it's much more fun without the MS. So just accepting yourself for who you actually are and giving up all the ideas. And this is what's making me be so okay with being so sick. Doesn't matter that much. I'm just happy to be alive. I'm happy for every opportunity that life still gives me, and I couldn't ask for more. So thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for your patience. Much apologies. I'm trying my best, and I'll try my best to keep uploading the videos, keep trying to think of ways to interact, and hopefully not get hit by a bus in the meantime. No, I'm just joking. No, I think I'm just trying to say, like, if I had ideas of myself, I would be miserable. I don't have ideas of myself, hence a stupid smile. So thank you again for listening, and one love.